Hello, gorgeous humans of the Money, a Journey Beyond Illusion Masterclass. And today is day 4 of the Masterclass. We're nearing the end. There's today and tomorrow, and then our 5-day journey will be complete. And I'm so excited for what we're going to be talking about today. More illusions, more journey work beyond what the eye can see, and the habits that shape us, whether we like it or not sometimes, and really coming into our own so we can choose the kind of life that we desire. Because once you see what you couldn't see before, it's there, and it cannot be unseen. That's the beauty of the illusion, is you can only ignore what's truly there when you can't see it. But as soon as the illusion is lifted, the veil is lifted, there's a new reality, a new paradigm, and then life can never be the same. Because you can finally see what you didn't see before, which is that you were born to be limitless, that you were born worthy, and that every single thing in this life is accessible to you when you decide that it is. So, let's dive into day 4. So, today is a really powerful session because we're going to look at illusions. So now we've looked at some of our animalistic illusions. Just out of curiosity, which ones did you relate to the most? Where did you see yourself? Did you see yourself in the monkey? Did you see yourself in the crab? Did you see yourself in the frog? Did you see yourself in the ostrich? Did you see yourself, I've already said the crab, the monkey. Did you see yourself in the flea? Did you see yourself in the elephant that stays stuck? Which animal really hit home for you? Which one made you feel like, oh gosh, that feels like me? Oops. Which ones really resonated? The monkey, the ostrich, the frog, the elephant, the monkey. So we see ourselves in these animal characteristics, and we're like, oh my gosh, I do that. I relate to all of them, but mostly the frog and the flea, the ostrich and the frog. I see myself in all of them, especially the flea and the elephant, super elephant and ostrich. I think I'm all of them. So many, but mostly the frog and the ostrich. Yeah. All right. So what we're going to look at now are some of the illusions that our mind gives us. And why I wanted to do the animals first is because it's easy to disassociate the butterfly and the goop. I forgot the butterfly. It's easy to disassociate got a cough. The animal brain from our mind and to go, oh, I see this behavior because it isn't me. So when we look at some of our actual things that we do in life, the issue is that they're too close to home for us to see them sometimes. When I'm showing you animal analogies, you're looking at the animal, it looks like it's outside of you. You can be like, oh my gosh, I can see the correlation. But when I start to show you illusions that you actually have as your human, something very interesting starts to happen. It's as if it's too close to home. And sometimes it starts to feel like, I don't like that. That looks like me, that sounds like me, and I don't like that. I don't want that. I don't want this to be true. I don't want that to look like me. I don't want to see that. So I've started with the illusions that are outside of the human condition, if you may, the ones that resemble animals so that you can see a resemblance. But I'm going to show you some illusions today that are really powerful and really start to show you that it starts to make a lot of sense, and it's going to start to tie in wealth very powerfully. So one of the illusions is the illusion of direction. And in our lives, we tend to imagine things are going in a certain direction in our life, based on the past, based on what we expect, based on what we can see, based on everything that we know to be true about life. We expect our life is going in a different direction. We expect things are going well, or we expect things are not going well. And then on top of our expectations, we also have fears. So it will sometimes happen that we will expect things are going well, but we're afraid that we're wrong. So we'll have expectations and fears. Inside of me, there's a feeling like I believe. And the minute that kicks in, I also have this fear that I might be wrong, right? So the illusion of direction is what happens when you're driving your car and then you look somewhere, and then the car begins to go where you're going, where you're looking. And it feels like you're going in that direction and you can't help it. It feels like that's the direction you're going, but in fact, you're only going there because you're looking there. And we can understand this in certain times in our lives, and then in others, we just refuse to see that it's the truth. I will never forget the first time I got into a car to drive. I was 16 years old. I was practicing to drive, and I was terrified of driving. Like, I had not been prepared. I didn't have a parent that was like, would you like to practice driving before your driver's license? Would you like to try to sit in the car? Would you like to try? Like, no, I had never touched a car until it was time for me to learn. And I remember sitting in the driver's seat, and next to me was the educator to teach me how to drive. And she said, she had me do all the things. And then she said, put your foot on the gas. And then I started driving, and she panicked and she went, whoa, 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 stop. So I freaked out. So I stopped, and she said, where were you looking? And I said, I was just looking in front of me. And she went, no. You were looking. Where were you looking? And I was like, I was just looking in front of me. She said, you can't look there like that at the front of the car. You're going to crash the car. Did you see where you were going? I had barely moved the car. I'm like, we had barely moved. I was driving the car onto the sidewalk, and I hadn't even noticed it because I didn't know where to look. I'd never driven a car before. So I just looked at the car, and the car just went where it was going. And it was kind of parked a little to the side. So I was just looking at the front of the car, and it just kept going in the direction where it was going. She was like, you have got to look as far in front of you in the direction you want to go as possible. And that felt so counterintuitive to me. I was like, what if there's something in the way? What if something happens? And she was like, you have got to look as far as you desire in the direction you want to go. That's how you drive a car. You can't look at the car. It was such a mind frick for me when that happened because it didn't make sense for me. I was just looking at the front of the car, like, I've got to drive this machine. I've got to steer the machine. How does it make sense that I would steer the machine by looking as far away from the machine as possible? How does that work? It works. If you hold your steering wheel and you start to look this way, you will watch your car go this way. In life, it is the same thing. You believe that your life is going a certain direction, and then you saw it happen. You believe that your money started going in a negative direction, and then you looked at it and you saw that it was going in the wrong direction, and you just saw that money was going in the wrong direction. But that's not what happened. You have been looking at money for years. You have been looking at money ever since you've watched other people look at money. And they've watched their money with the illusion of there's never enough, with the illusion of there's only as much as I can see, and I'm only as good as I can be. And they've all been watching money that way, and you've been looking at money that way. You've been steering your money car your entire life. And now you're here, wherever you are, and it feels like, why is it that this is my reality of money? Why is it this is my reality? How am I here if this is not what I want? How am I here if I work so hard? How am I here? Because you look here. You look here all the time. You do something amazing around money, and then you go, but what if it doesn't work? And you look in the direction that your money goes. It didn't go wrong and then you saw it. You drove the money car exactly where you believed it might go. And you do this over and over and over again. And we look at people who get money and who have a lot of money, and there's this certainty about them. And they'll say things like, I just know that money is there for me. I just know that it will be there. I don't fear. I don't worry. I believe. And when you're not there and you look at them able to say that, you're like, how do you do that? But of course, you're able to look and see that money is going to be there. It's there for you. But it's because you know the money's there. The money's there for you. Because if you don't believe it's there, you're going to look at where it potentially might not be. And I remember in a Tony Robbins seminar once, he talked about how very often people will get in car accidents in the middle of nowhere. There's literally one pole in the middle of the highway and people will hit the pole. And it's like, why do you hit the pole? You hit the pole because in the moment where you think you're going to crash or something goes wrong, you look at the one thing you don't want to hit and then you hit the pole. In the middle of nowhere, in the middle of a field of nothingness, you will hit the pole. It's the illusion that the direction of things is not in your control. You're driving the car. How is it that some people are wealthy and some aren't? Some people drive the money car to wealth and some people drive the money car to poverty. It can't be that simple. How not? There's enough money in the whole world for us. There's enough money. There's some people that have so much money that if you were to stack the bills back to back, you could go around the planet 30 times, make it to the moon and back, and then stack it as far as the Eiffel Tower. Like, there is more money, but it's distributed in a way, and there's still more. There's always more. But it's distributed in a way that is exactly in alignment with how people drive their money cars. And so many people drive their cars right into the pole, right into the one place they don't want to go, right into poverty, right into destitution, right into just enough and not enough. Why? Because that's where we fear will go. And we fear will go there because of the stories that have been told for centuries, because of the generational wealth or lack of wealth in your life and in your family, because of the people around you and what they believe about money, because of the kinds of conversations or the lack of conversations that we have around money. It's a shameful thing a lot of times to talk about money. Why? Because if you don't have a lot, that's something to be ashamed of. And if you have a lot, now it's something to be ashamed of because there's so many people that don't have it. So people don't talk about money when it's one of the most important things to master is money. But if whether you have it or not, it feels bad. Whether you have it or not, you feel guilty or whatever you're feeling, how does that work? And I see this online a lot, like people who shame people who speak about money and who are like, oh, all you care about is the money. It's like, of course, all I care is not the freaking money. What do you even mean? Because we talk about the money at all, it's all about the money. That's not how this works. And if you've had those ideas at all, it's because you need to focus on the money a little bit more. If any money talk sends you into that kind of like spiral of evil people, or people are talking about the money, they want something, like if you get triggered so fast around money like that, there's so much work to be done. Money is just an extension. It's just what allows us to be and do and have the things we want in our lives, and we're crashing the car over and over again because we don't know how to look, where to look, and we're not choosing empowering ways to look, and that's all our choice. If you don't learn to drive the money car and you constantly look where you don't want to go, you're going to end up going there over and over and over and over and over again, no matter how powerful or no matter how positive you are, and no matter how much you pray and ask and journal. It's like, do you know how to drive the money car in the direction that you desire? We make money above us and more than what it is. We put money on a pedestal. We say, I'm not good enough to have the money. So the other illusion is the illusion of time. Like money has something to do with time. And for me, in all of the teachings that I've had in my life, time has been the most jaw-dropping shift, the way that I experience time in my life. I do so much in a day now in comparison to what I used to do before. And I used to think I didn't have any time before, and then I've added 2 houses, and I've skyrocketed my business, and I've added, and I do more now than I ever have. Time is an illusion because it changes based on how we experience it. And one of the biggest mistakes of our time is connecting time with money, because we're literally attaching a limited resource to a limitless one and wondering why we're lacking. Time is limited. Money is not. When we connect these two, we're actually attaching a man-made currency to a limitless currency, and we're making it limited. Not because it is, but because the illusion makes it so. So the thing is, time, the way that we experience it, is an illusion. Direction in the way that we experience it is an illusion. None of it is just the truth. So as a human being who desires to be wealthy, when we want to be wealthy and we're like, I want it. I want to be rich. I'm ready. Our first issue are the thoughts that come into our minds. Because before anything is ever real in the world for us, before we ever see it, feel it, or experience it, there's an inner experience that will happen. I desire to be rich. I desire to be in my, in this incredible relationship. I desire. And then, for some crazy reason, I get this block. Like, I don't believe it's possible. Why? Why don't I believe it's possible? It hasn't even happened yet. And I don't believe it's possible. Why? What has physically happened for me to believe it's not possible? And then all the illusions kick in. I don't have enough time. I'm not going in the right direction. If they couldn't do it, I can't do it. I tried and I failed before. If I do this, I'll lose that. If I do it, they won't like me. There's not enough for me. Somebody's done it already before. And as long as they're successful, I can't be successful. If it fails, I won't recuperate. I can't handle it. It's not that bad yet. It's not so bad yet. These are all illusions. If you actually look at your life and all the actual possibilities that are open to you, and you let go of all the illusions and you learn to just empower yourself to go, there's nothing that you cannot be, do, or have in this life. But it's difficult. Why? Because we're surrounded by the illusion, and we're surrounded by people who live that illusion every day. That time equals money, that there isn't enough for everyone, that it's constantly up and down and in and out. People who don't know emotional intelligence at all. People who do not understand emotional intelligence at all. Is let go of all the illusions and empower yourself, and your life will never be the same again. You just need evidence of the opposite. Everything you believe you can't do needs to be turned on its head, because you need new evidence. That's all. You need new evidence. And what's going to happen is you're going to start to see that even when you do succeed, your mind wants to protect you. It's the illusion, it's the illusion, it's the illusion. So we've got to be so aware. And this is why we hear some of the thought leaders in life say things like, you become like the people that you hang out with the most. This doesn't mean that if you hang out with people that are, that don't have a lot of money, you're going to be not wealthy. That's not what it means. But what it means, though, is that if you're constantly surrounded by people who strongly believe in an illusion that doesn't serve you, and you don't have any other place to plug in where you're learning something new and you're talking about something new, how are you going to stay on track? If there's nowhere to go to think different, if there's nowhere to go to tap into something more, if there's nowhere to go to talk about things that light you up and make you feel like, oh my gosh, this feels so good inside, like yes, 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 yes. If there's nowhere to go where it feels like, oh, this is such a better conversation, if there's nowhere to go, then you're going to go where the illusions are, and you continue gathering evidence that they're real. The thing is, they look real and they feel real. That's the whole point of the illusion. If we didn't like magic, if we didn't like the feeling of being, we didn't go to magic shows. Like people think watches go through glass. People think money disappears into thin air. People think People think cards turn all the same suit and you can dig a card out of an orange, and like, you think you can't see magic like that and be confused, and that there's not other ways that this magic is like black magic in your life, maybe? And I'm not an expert in magic, so if we have any witches in here and I'm saying the wrong words, please don't be offended. I really am just saying there's the magic that makes you giddy inside, and there's the magic that makes you imagine something bad is coming. There's the magic that makes you feel like you can fly, and the magic that makes you feel like impending doom is around the corner. And we have to decide what kind of illusion we're going to play into. So when I started working towards my money, I realized that I had two very distinct areas of power. So what we're going to do right now, I want to take you through a visualization. I want to take you through a feeling. So I'm going to have you put, Natalie says, I'm a witch. You're all good. Okay, thank you. I want you to put one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. And take a deep breath that you feel like it fills your whole body up. Like, feel it all in your body. Breathe in. And then breathe it all out. I want you to really feel your body. And feel what is currently real for you right now in your experience of being alive. So if you're sitting up straight, I want you to feel your feet on the floor. I want you to feel your legs. Feel your body. Feel your chest. Feel your body. Feel your hands on your body. Feel your arms. See if you can notice even the slight blinking of your eyes when your eyes are closed. I want you to feel the air around you. Just notice that there's air around you where there's nothing in it. It's just air. And I want you to see if you can feel how far your energy goes outside of you into the air around you. So if you were to give the energy around you a color and notice your light body, like the color around your body, how far does that energy go? Is it right close to your body? Does it go out very far? For the purpose of this illusion, for the purpose of this visualization, I'm going to have you imagine that this is your current level of power. This is as far as it goes. Now, I want you to see if you can watch that expand, if you can push it out a little further. Watch your power just grow a little bit. Watch the color you chose deepen, and see if you can expand the energy a little bit. Take a deep breath and breathe out. I want you to see if you can expand your energy a little bit more. So push it out even further. So this energy body, this light around you will be further out. Maybe deepen the color you can see even a little bit more. Take a deep breath in. And breathe out. Can you expand the energy out a little bit more? So notice the energy expand a little bit more. Deepen the color. And breathe in. And breathe out. Now I want you to feel your body. And notice how different it feels to be inside of your body right now. Do you feel more energy inside of your body? Can you feel your arms more? Can you feel your heart beat more? What's the experience of being in your body with this much power around you? Just be with this feeling. want you to repeat this mantra. I am safe to become everything I desire to be. Breathe in. Breathe out. I repeat this mantra. You can say, I feel safe and I am safe to receive everything I desire to receive. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now repeat, I feel worthy of receiving the life of my dreams. Breathe in. Breathe out. How does it feel to be in your body? Can you feel your arms more? Can you feel your heart beat more? Take one last deep breath in. Smile to yourself and breathe out. Open your eyes. Now, I want you to tell me how you feel in your body now. However it is that you feel. I feel light. I feel a strange sensation in my arms. I feel calm, peaceful. I feel like I can hear more. Like I can hear the fire real loud next to me. There's peace. Like I'm buzzing. I feel that. Warmer, stronger, lighter. I was sitting up straighter. I was lighter. I love that. I feel really good. What you just did is you created an illusion that serves you. You made this happen. You made your energy expand. You gave yourself peace. You gave yourself energy. You gave yourself a good feeling in your heart. You said nice things to yourself and you calmed yourself. You expanded your energy. You feel safe in your body. You did that within minutes with no external changes whatsoever. Nothing changed on the outside. You're in the same room. You have nothing more or nothing less. Nothing around you changed. You accessed all of this power yourself. You have the power to do this. There's only just the moment we're in and our experience of it. Our experience of it is the illusion. You can use every moment in your life to create an experience, and you choose what that experience is. At any moment in time, you choose the experience. And oh so often, in your head, you start to go in the wrong direction. You imagine illusions that make you feel clenched inside for no reason, instead of choosing peace. You choose illusions that make you feel like you're going to be cooked alive, or that you're stuck, or that you're not good enough, or that you're not safe, instead of beauty that you just felt. You get to create the world you live in. You get to create it. You choose the experience. Now, tell me what you believe, truly. If you come up with the first word that comes through for you, what do you actually believe is possible for you when you're in this state? What's the first word that comes through for you? When you're feeling like this, if you wanted anything, would you believe it? And it's normal, like if you have PTSD, if you have trauma, your first response in life will be to create the fear. It's normal. It's triggered. This is why we've got to make intentional time for these moments. And then you do more and more. You bring your awareness to your power that you can choose when you're aware. When you're not aware, the old coding runs the show. And it does for everyone. And for some, the PTSD, the trauma, it runs really deep. There's a lot of work there. But you get to choose as often as you desire to choose to create an illusion that makes you feel like this. Look what people are saying. Everything is possible. I could have anything and everything. I could have success. People will be magnetized to me. I feel limitless. What are the odds that you're going to create the life of your dreams feeling anything but this? Like this is it. Power and potential, magic and limitlessness, unstoppable access to unimaginable things, massive impact, ease in moving forward. Anything I dream is possible. What happened? Nothing happened. Nothing changed. The human is the car you drive. If you're just looking where you are to decide what direction you're going, it's like you're driving a car looking at the car itself. If you want to drive the human where you want it to go, you've got to look as far as you can in the direction you desire to go. And for us, looking is not something our eyes see. It's something our soul can see. It's something our energy can see. It's something that we can back with truth. You feel empowered, infinite. So it's so normal that the first thought is like, yeah, but I can't be in this state forever. How do I come back to this? Doesn't matter. You didn't need to be constantly in a perpetual state of terror to create the things you've created out of fear. You just needed to feel them long enough to create the vibration in the universe that magnetizes them. You just need to feel this long enough and often enough to shift the energy around you. People ask me all the time, how do you stay in the energy? How do you create an amazing energy? How do you stay? How do you believe? How do you? I drive the car. The fears show up, but you can't let them drive. The doubts show up, but you can't let them drive. You choose the direction. How often do you do this for yourself? Literally just be like, let me sit and think and feel into the direction I desire to go. We're not intentional about the human, and we wonder why it's not going where we want it to go. We're wondering why it doesn't feel the way we want it to feel when we keep feeding it illusions that make it want to go stick its head in the sand. If you want a thriving human, you've got to give it fuel. And what we just did there took minutes. And look, way beyond the moment where we were doing it, it continues to feel. You still have these vibrations in your body. Just focus on your body. Like you can still feel it, all that energy from just a few moments of focus. Well, you feel this same anxiety or pressure, whatever comes with it, when you give yourself a few minutes of sheer terror, which we do sometimes. This is good. Yeah, it feels like a car out of control that we can't operate, but it's not true. It's just that you can't operate it when you're imagining that you're driving the car into a pole. So you are living partly the truth and partly your experience of the truth in all times. The experiencing of the truth is what makes you you. Because two people can live the exact same thing and feel it and experience it in two completely different ways. One person is completely expanded by it and moves, and the other person retracts by it and doesn't move. Why? Because life is about the truth and your experience of it. And you can change your experience of the truth. You can't change what's happening when it's happening in the moment. And that's often what we try to do. We look at the actual thing that we can't change and we get mad that we can't change it. But that's not the thing we have power over. The thing we have power over is the illusion that it might always be this way, that it can't get better, that it won't get better, that we're not good enough. All that stuff, it's not real. Because look, within minutes of tuning in, a whole new truth emerges. Who would you be if you were this person 51% of the time? I'm not even talking 100% of the time. I'm talking 51% of the time. Who would you be? If you could be responsible to come into a state of this on purpose in your life, before an important decision, before there's something important to do, what if you could drive the human in the direction you wanted to go before you made big important moves in your life? If you were aware of the illusions and the truth. This is where I am. And then there's my experience of it. We can't unmanifest the past, but we can choose what to manifest in the now. You get to experience life now in such a different way. Just feel the way you feel right now. Can you believe that you did that when nothing changed? So, when we become in control of the illusions, when we take control over the illusions, things start to change massively. There are so many pieces to the puzzle. And the incredible thing about growth and evolution is that as you get closer and as you become more powerful, the puzzle pieces become smaller. And this is the illusion of the level of difficulty. The reason we miss things in life at a certain level is because we imagine that the problems are big problems. And when something's wrong and you can't see a big problem, there's two ways your mind goes. Either it goes to gratitude that there's no big problem, or it creates one. Because part of the illusions are that you've got to have a problem to bounce back from, and you learn that in the compound effect. So it's like when you're 3 years old and you do a jigsaw puzzle, and there's 12 pieces in the puzzle. Pieces are huge. It's so simple. There's 4 corners, there's 4 sides, and there's a middle piece. You're done, Voila. I solved the puzzle. You imagine that problems that are difficult should be big. But in fact, the level of difficulty is that the pieces get smaller as the difficulty rises. The problems I have in my life now are so small. But when I find the little snafu, a huge impact occurs. Before, the problems were big and the impact was small. Now the problems are small and the impact is big. It's our job to navigate our life the way we truly desire to. If we're constantly looking for big issues in our life, we create them. It gets to be that eventually life is just good. And we can navigate it that way. And if there ever is a thing, it's so much smaller because you have more power. You can actually feel safe to just be in your life with nothing wrong if you understand how to navigate the illusion. There's stress. But you know how big it feels comparatively to the huge stresses I used to feel in my life? Because there's so much gratitude. But there's people who have levels of success beyond success. There's so many amazing things in their life, and they will look at their level of stress and they will experience it just as big as the big problems they had, because they can't comprehend that problems can't be huge. It's the tiniest little tweaks. I dictate the illusion. My illusion is that I'm so beautifully exhausted at the end of that day instead of something's really wrong. Because I get to navigate. There's always going to be something in life. You're a human. There's always going to be fears in life. There's always going to be a desire for more. Those things will still be there, but instead of them being so big, and then when you finally get them out of the way, you're like, okay, it doesn't matter. Now there's this other huge thing. It's like they're these tiny little things, and when you move them, you feel free and expansive. But we're so coded to create the problems that we're living in a life where there's the truth and the illusion does not serve us. We put ourselves in a permanent state of stress for no reason, because the truth is the truth, but we dictate the illusion. And we've been taught that it's actually a really great thing to be stressed. You should be stressed, or else you're probably not working hard enough. You should be. Oh, you slept well last night? Well, your life's easy. Oh, you've eaten today? Don't complain to me then. I only want to know about your life if you've barely slept in weeks and you haven't had a meal and you haven't showered and life is hard and money's tight and times are hard and your husband's pain in the butt. Like, that's the illusion that I hear about the most. How are you doing? Well, things are hard. I haven't been sleeping well. I haven't been eating much. COVID, life's hard. Things are hard. Like, that's the global illusion right now, is that it's hard. How are things with your partner? Well, we tolerate each other. Well, it's not easy being cooped up in a house together this long. We haven't killed each other, so that's good. The paradigm on Earth right now is that the standard illusion that people abide by is mediocrity. Mediocrity at best. Mediocre financial situations, mediocre relationships, mediocre energy. And as long as no one tries to be above that, then I don't have to feel bad that I'm currently building something mediocre. As long as you don't outshine me and go have a really amazing relationship, and then I feel guilty about just like saying something really bad about my partner. As long as you don't go out there and go make a ton of money during lockdown, because that would please don't do that. Don't we want people to start paving the path? What if you decided that from now on, the illusions that you will stand by are the ones that make you feel like this? What kind of life would you have if, when you realize that you're running wild in your head, that it's probably an illusion because there's actually no impending doom? It's so crazy because it has been proven that the brain, and this is what we're going to talk about this a little bit tomorrow as well, but like, your brain doesn't know the difference between actual problem and illusion problem. The fear responses are the same. Whether you're just worried about the phone bill being a little bigger than you thought, or there's a face-eating cat running after you. Your brain does the same. Impending doom, impending doom. Danger, danger, impending doom, impending doom. It's like your phone bill was $30 over what you thought it was going to be, and you're going to send your body into like face-eating cat terror. You are safe. You are safe to want more. You are safe to receive more. You are safe to have the life of your dreams. You are safe. You're okay. You're going to be okay. It's okay. But what if it's okay? And if you feel yourself feeling panic and anxiety, it's because you're feeding the illusion that gives you panic and anxiety. Your brain thinks there's a face-eating cat running after you. Just breathe. The illusions don't serve us if they're gonna make us feel terror and stress. Right here, right now, in your house, with both your feet on the floor and your heart beating firmly in your chest, you are safe. If that's not enough to bring you back to what the real truth is, I don't know what is. If you want something beautiful, just make it. I know that feelings are hard to navigate sometimes. It's a lot. We're not taught emotional mastery, and we're not taught energetics. I want to give you things that you can constantly tap into with me. If I had my choice, if I could choose what you chose with me, I would invite you into my Alpha Femme experience, because inside of the Alpha Femme experience, you're with me for a year. This means every single thing I think, I feel, I say, I do, every single thing I share with you. Everything I'm hands-on in my life. I'm constantly pushing the envelope. I'm constantly moving through new levels of fear, new levels of stress, new levels of illusion, breaking through the illusion, the glass ceiling, the thoughts of what's possible, not possible, the thoughts of how I can do it and how it's going to have to be. Like, I have broken every rule anyone has ever given me. They told me it's not possible to build a business of this size without a huge mailing list. You've got to have a website. You've got to have, you've got to have funnels. You've got to have a huge team. You've got to have it. I have none of it. I built this with my heart and my energy and an illusion that changed my life. I know what we can do in this lifetime when we change the way we look at things, because I've experienced it for myself, and I have held a vision so strong that the people who come into my life start to change the way they see their lives, and things start to really, really change for all of us. So I'm here, and I make my life very visible, and I share things with you so that you can constantly plug into my energy, whether it's in a free post that I write on my Instagram, my Alpha Femme page, whether it's on my Facebook wall, whether it's in my Alpha Femme group. Like, stay connected to me and just feel how I live life. I live my life for me, for you, for us. This work gave me my life back when I realized how much power we actually have. When I took my own power back, I really made it a decision for me that I was going to lead myself as far as I could go, for me, for you, for us. That I would live my life in 3 dimensions, not just for myself. That I would literally share it. If I could choose, I would take you with me for a journey for a whole year. I would say, come with me and let's do a year together so I can teach you everything that I do in a whole year, whether it's my social media, the way I sell, the way I believe about money, relationships, leadership, communication, storytelling, attracting the perfect partner, sex, love, all of it. Like, let me hold you with me together a year. Let's do it. Let me hold the energy with you, like, so you can see what it feels like. Let's do it together. Like, I would choose that. And I know it's not available to everyone. And I know it's not possible for everyone because it's a big investment. I know it's a big chunk. And an installment, which for a lot of people is more manageable. So we have a lot of people who are on monthly installments. They get to do all my programs. They're in everything with me all the time. And the master classes and the replays and the prepackaged, repackaged, all the things, access to all the things with me. It's really amazing. If you want to buy the program separately, you can. If you want to buy, I love this work. I love this work, and I love what it does for me, and I love what it does for my clients. It is a masterpiece. Tomorrow, I'm bringing all this together. The illusion that ties everything together. I'm so excited to take you through the finish line of this program. I want you to feel what you felt today in this masterclass as often as you decide that you want to feel the way you felt in this masterclass, without thinking for 1 second that something in the world needs to change for you to be able to access these feelings. You go first, and the universe responds. You go first. I'm so grateful that you're here with me today. I'm so happy I did this masterclass. Gosh, I'm so happy I did this masterclass. This is so good for me. And I can tell it was good for a lot of you as well. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everyone, for everything that you've been and everything you've said so far. I just can't even believe how beautiful this has been. It's such an honor, and I'm so grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And if you need anything, just message us. Message me directly on Facebook Messenger or on Instagram, and myself or my team will be there to help you. And just stay connected with me, whatever happens. I'm here for the long run. This is the work of my lifetime. I'm so excited for tomorrow. For those of you who go through the finish line with me for this masterclass, it's going to be a beautiful day. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for everything. And I will see you tomorrow for day 5.